To another series of wide open throttle. That's right, we're back here in Archerfield, sticking cameras in mechanics' faces, getting lenses filthy on the dyno and revving up a storm at High Performance Workshop Elite Automotive. It's a new year and new faces will grace our screens, new cars will roll our way, and the automotive gods will look down and bless us with some excellent gains along the way. Let's go meet the team. Meet Paul, owner of Elite and chief ballbuster. When it's a big job, he's the man in the know to deliver every time. If you've ever been to the Elite workshops, then chances are you've met this bloke, Steve, office manager, a man partial to a Turbo 6 and a top shelf mechanic. We can't show you his face because he's currently off serving our country. Nah, just kidding. Here he is hard at work. If you're in need of a part rarer than hen's teeth, chances are Steve knows where to get it in 10 seconds flat. Another familiar face is our very own boy from Bellow, Keegan. The force is strong in this one as Keegan takes charge of the workshop. No amount of steel in his hand or bloodied knuckles will stop him from getting it done, and all with a big grin and a whole lot of laughs. A fresh face to the Elite family is young Wayne. A third-year apprentice, Wayne works all day, drives home and keeps on working. Passionate about anything with a throttle, he'll fit right in with the rest of us. Also, fresh out of kindy is this fella, Dalton, a second-year apprentice and with a last name that no one can pronounce. Everybody comes to Dalton for advice on cars, women, and how to make your first million. This bloke truly does know everything. And this is Joe, the AM driving force of the workshop. Of a 9:30 AM, Monday through Friday, this magical human being powers the universe until lunchtime with caffeine and mans the office when the boys are out running amok. Now you've met the team, they don't need to wear name tags and you have no excuse for not remembering their names. Let's get stuck in. This clubby has come in for an OTR and catback upgrade. The boys have completed the work and it's time to chuck her on the hoist to see what she makes. But there's a problem. Something's giving out and she's losing power in the top end, and that's making Steve cranky. No, if it's not one thing, it's another. This time it's the stock clutch, and she's slipping worse than the competitors in an ice skating final with Steve and Bradbury. Steve gets on the dog and bone to pass on the verdict, and the customer comes back wanting to overhaul the clutch. It's over to you now, Wayne. New exhaust comes back out, and Wayne begins work on dropping the drive shaft. Wayne's hit a wall with the shifter assembly pins, so Keegan steps up to show him how it's done.
Got him.
Alright.
When you wiggle that bastard out.
So that's disconnected, that's the shifter. Then you got...
Have you got a small screwdriver?
Wedge it out that way. So you're wedging it away from yourself and just push up. See that? You didn't see that shit. You gotta be quick around here.
Clips down and then, yeah, I'll get
Are
it.
you just want BMWs as well?
probably about a good thing.
So it flips over a piece of metal.
BMW made, eh?
So you have to clip it up like that and then push it out. Seems pretty simple.
Yeah. I've already got it up, so you should be able to just flip it up now. The idea is just to wedge it out to that tag you take away. Just stick the block out and just leave it up with that. Straight up, yeah. You sure you got it? No, it took me fucking all out. Do your 2 side pins and you do this one last. Because that was the first to come out, you know what I mean? Anything you do, you reverse it.
Yep.
So it's full steam ahead, and as Wayne works his way through, he's kept the camera by his side.
And we're just going to replace it with an MPC clutch. A little bit extra heavy duty, so that'll eliminate that problem. You just see me split the gearbox from the bell housing, and now I'm just taking the bell housing off the engine so I can get to the clutch easier. So I just took the bell housing off, and this is what it looks like off the transmission. The reason why your clutch starts to slip is because once you start trying to make more horsepower through your engine and your car or whatever you're making more power through, the clamp load on the pressure plate starts to lose, and that makes the clutch slip. And that creates hot spots, which is normally an indicator of people riding it as well. These are hot spots here. It's where it just contacts it and keeps slipping. That's when the people just rest their foot on the clutch or half engage the clutch and it just slips it.
Now the transmission's out, Wayne lays out the new parts and prepares the bell housing for modification.
And that's the finished product.
While Wayne works on an assembly, someone's discovered the camera and decides to give us all head spins. 2 guesses who?
The springs are like a dampener force, so when you engage the clutch it can twist the slightest bit so it's not so harsh on your gearbox. Yeah. Race cars normally don't have this stuff, so like in my drift car I'm going to be running a 5-puck solid center, which means there's no springs. A button clutch is pretty much just a puck clutch. It's just, instead of having a big ring like this, it has like little pucks, and you have different compounds. You can have like a copper compound stuff, it grips up better. These are just an organic fibre clutch. So what I'm going to do now is just clean up the flywheel surface. So I normally put a bit of oil on there to stop it from rusting.
Now to put her back in.
So what I'm going to do here is just clean off this surface here, make sure it's clean. If you don't clean that off, you can get shutter in your clutch.
We'll cut here to prevent you having to listen to razor on metal. It's bringing back those fingernails down a blackboard moments.
Oh.
loads the clubby onto the dyno and Paul starts punching in the data for a run on the rollers. Let's see how she goes. That's better. With the clutch holding out the entire run, Paul can squeeze every last pony out of this club sport. With a quick tune, she's made an extra 10 kilowatts and the new clutch will certainly translate that newfound power to the road or track nicely.